Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my channel, Complicated Conversations with Shanika. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, since I've done any videos. Unfortunately, in December, I lost my mom to COVID. And it was very hard. It was very difficult, something for me to handle that I've never had to handle or deal with or experience. So just bear with me. I have a few things that I want to discuss with everyone. So I thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get down into it. Me losing my mother in December was a rough patch for me and my family. Definitely due to COVID, but she had some underlying illnesses beforehand. Before any of that took place, the reason why I'm talking to you guys is because I feel like this is something that everybody should know, young and old. We didn't have insurance, life insurance on my mother. And my mother didn't have life insurance on herself either. I guess partly because, you suspect your parents to be around longer than, they do. Just because you're used to them. And, you're used to calling your mother and going by her house and eating her food. And so it was different. We didn't have life insurance on her, which made things very difficult, which made my family have to ask for money. We had to set up a GoFundMe page, donations. We had to call around for donations. And that was very hard for me because I'm a very prideful person and private. But we did. And to my understanding and knowing, so many donations came in for her. Honestly. My mom already was a beautiful person inside and out. But that let me know and knew how wonderful she was. Not just to us as her children, but to the world itself. To people in the world itself. To God. He made sure that her funeral was beautiful. That she was beautiful. And he made it possible for those to be able to donate and to give if they had it. Now, the ones that didn't have it, that's understandable. I do, at the end of this video, I do have a list of people that I want to publicly thank for helping. Because I don't know, we don't know what we would have done. We definitely would have gotten it done, but it would have taken so much time to do so. So what I want to say to everybody is, if you don't have life insurance, get it. Get it for your children. Get it for yourself. If you're young and you have small children, get life insurance for yourself, for your kids. I tell God, thank you that we didn't have to put no buckets and all of that up at stores. And, but if push came to shove and that's what I would have had to do, then that's what I would have had to do. But you don't want to have to do that. And you have the chance right now to not have to do that. So do what's right and get life insurance on yourself. Don't wait. Because none of us know the day or the time of our leaving here. Like my mom didn't. But one thing she did say, and I will never forget it. She said that whenever it is my time, God will take care of me. He will take care of me. He will make sure that I'm taken care of and that you guys are taken care of. And he did. And I tell him thank you publicly. Thank you, Father. But what I did also want to touch on is where I live, there are over 100 churches over 100 churches. I literally sat and wrote them all down. And what's sad is not one of them wanted to donate $10. Not one. That's what's sad. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that COVID is going on, so there are not a lot of tithes and offerings that's coming into these places. I understand that. I do. But not one of them wanted to just donate $10. And that's what was sad, because we support these churches, believing that when that time ever comes that we may need, they will support us back. And that's not what the case was. And I want to say to majority of those churches, shame on you. Shame on you. That was sad. And it's not just me. I've talked to lots of people where I live, and they have experienced the same thing. That when it comes down to your community, they shut their doors, and that's not okay. That is not how God works. So to all the churches in Benton Harbor, Michigan, shame on you. There were churches that were out of state that donated to my mother's funeral, to her service. And I'm going to thank them as well. But I was just sad by that. Now, that's not to deter that you should never go to church. No, go to church. Go to church. But I'm just saying, $5, $10, churches. There are people that's in need. If you have it, help. You know, there were people, and I won't say any names, but there were people that had smart things to say, hurtful things to say. You know, and that's what's shocking. Because when someone loses a loved one, they ain't got time to be hearing that bull crap. They don't. And if you were one of them that had something sarcastic to say about my loss, just hold on. Just hold on. You keep living. But I do thank those that did help, because God made a way. He made it possible. It was no one else but him. And did it hurt? Yes, it hurt. You know, losing someone you love, definitely a parent. It's hurtful. I lost my father years ago. He was murdered. And losing my mother is difficult. I'm still trying to take it day by day and get through it. But I'm doing it. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. I'm doing it. And it's possible. You know, no one knows their time or their day. You don't. You don't know who's going to be here, who won't. But I'm taking my time and I'm getting through it. And I vow to become a better me. And that's what's important. Me being a better me for my kids. And I'm doing these videos to help someone else be a better them for their self and for their child or their family member. So, yes, it hurt and it was hurtful. But prayer helps. Reading helps. Talking about it helps. Discussing it helps. It helps. But I'm human. And just because, you know, I make these videos, that don't mean that I don't hurt. I thank everybody that stood beside me, that called me to check on me, to ask, was I okay? Did I need anything? I thank you guys. You know, you don't really know how much you need someone until you have something tragic like that happen to you. You don't know how you will react or what you would do or, you know, what you would say, how you will feel. It just happens. And then you just go. So if you don't have life insurance on yourself at this moment, you should start to look into it for yourself, for your kids. You know, it's a struggle. It was a struggle to raise that money. But I pushed every day. And I don't care if I had to beg. That's exactly what I would do. Now, it was some people that gave and it was some that didn't. It was some that had hurtful comments, which is very sad. It really is. It's sad because I'm just not that type of person. I'm not. And if I had it, I don't care if it was $2. I was going to give it. But it did teach me something. It did. It taught me that I am not the only one out here that's going through this problem. I'm not. There are other people that's trying to bury family members and you know, deal with service costs. And it is so expensive. And so I'm making plans myself to do things to help someone else. When those plans come about, I'll tell you. But right now, my mom was the love of my life. Still is. She was my best friend. You know, when people you love walk out your life and you really don't know why, your parents most of the times be the ones that's still standing there. And she was always the one that stood there to let me know you can do and be whatever you want to do and be. And however people may feel about you, that's their feeling, and they have the right to have their feeling. You just keep pushing and keep doing what you need to do. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm about to cry. She made it possible. She was a great grandmother. She loved her grandchildren, was around them every second that she could be, wanted them around her. She just was an all-around loving person. And I love you. So, community, try to help out your fellow community people. If you're someone that's within your community and it's just you, do something magnificent to help someone else. It is so many people that just think about themselves. Stop thinking about yourself. Because when your time comes to need something, guess what? Someone is going to think about themselves and not you. There were people that even offered to cook for my mother's repast, to bring a dish. And then there were those that just came and didn't bring or offer anything. Didn't even attempt to. Because we just have no regard for one another. We're just thinking about ourselves and our guilt. There were those that came because she was loving to them, and there were those that came because they were guilty. But even to those that came because they were guilty, God bless you. Still. Because for whatever reason, God made you. He made you come. For those that gave, I thank you. For those that gave because they were guilty, I thank you still. For those that gave on a callous heart, I still thank you. Because keep living. That's what I'm going to say. So everybody, sometimes stop thinking about yourself and think about others. There was someone that gave $5. $5. and said, this is all I have, but I really hope that it helps you. And to that person, I thank them. I thank them. So I'm going to read off these names publicly for those that attempted to help, that tried to help, that wanted to help, that gave. I appreciate it. And even though there are some that wanted to give and just couldn't give, I tell you thank you also for your prayers, for just wanting to. Now, I'm not talking about those that just couldn't. I'm talking about those that did it in a callous manner. And you know who you are. I won't put you on blast, but you know who you are. So I'm grateful. Her service was taken care of on her birthday, January the 15th. Yes, it was her homegoing day and her birthday. And so I'm grateful. And I'm going to read off these names and tell these people, thank you so much. It meant more to me than you will ever imagine, than you will ever probably know. So here we go. I want to thank Sparkle Young on Sparkle Young for Life, Rochelle Burton, Nathan Burton, Nicole Burton, Antoinette Williams, Denise Denard, Destiny Sharp, Janice Sharp, Cynthia Little, Lakita Wade, Kelly Jones, Brendan Luke, Jimmy and Bernice Jones, Texana and Patricia Crowley, Dre Holmes, Donnie Mack, Kim McMullen, Barbara Jack, Marcella Bay, Dory and Carla Gladney, DeAnthony Berry, Moniva Ross, Jennifer Ross, Tony Thomas, Donna Ware, Tammy McLean, Sharon Ferguson, Howard Whitfield, Auntie Martha, and you know who you are, Auntie Martha. I love you. Chanel Hampton, Mocha Brown, Cher Can, Kim Robinson, Pat Smith, Megan and Bobby Guernsey, Robin Branscombe, Vanita Booth, Paris Napper, Shaniqua Bailey, Jessica Hassel, Norman Crowley, Cynthia Brown, Tiffany Scott, Leslie Thomas. I want to thank all of y'all. I also want to thank Jerry and Sherry Hunt, their son Ron Hunt, and their business, Jerry Hunt Auto Sales. They donated as well. I also want to thank the Lighthouse Church of Houston, Texas. They're all the way in Texas. And they gave. They gave all the way from Texas. So I want to thank them, the Lighthouse Church of Houston, Texas. Pastor Henderson, I thank you. I really do. Your assistant pastor, I spoke with him. Such a nice man, totally understood and was willing to give. I thank you guys. I thank Robinson Brothers Funeral Home. I thank them for taking great care of my mother. I also want to thank True Way of Life, the True Way of Life Healing Ministry. The pastor is Miss Betty Simpson. I want to thank her. She did my mother's service, but her church also donated. And I want to tell her thank you. My original pastor got sick and wasn't able to do the service. God bless her. Reverend Lynette Clay, I love you. You guys may or may not know, that was my godmom. She also passed from COVID 2 days after my mother's service. So I want to tell her I love you. I thank you so much. She was sick though during the time. And so Mrs. Betty Simpson, she's on Facebook as well, stepped in to help. Did a wonderful job. Magnificent lady, very spiritual, very loving. Her church is bomb. I was there. I love it. And it is called True Way of Life Healing Ministry. I believe it's in St. Joseph, Michigan. So look her up. If not, look her up on Facebook. Her name is Betty Simpson. Wonderful, wonderful person. So I would like to thank all of those people for making that day for us wonderful, memorable, and special. God bless all of you. All of the names, all of the businesses, I thank you. Once again, I want to thank Jerry Hunt Auto Sales. I want to thank the Lighthouse Church of Houston, Texas, Robertson Brothers Funeral Home, and True Way of Life Healing Ministry. I thank you guys, and I thank everybody that I named off on this list. If I have not sent the obituaries to you guys, I will be sending them. Just be patient with me. Those are big obituaries, so I have to give different type of envelopes. But I want to thank all of you for making that day special for us. I won't ever forget it. And like I said, I have my good days and my bad day, and today is one of my good days. So I figured this was the perfect time to do a video and let you guys know why I've been out so long and what's been going on with me. And, you know, as the weeks go on, I will continue to document my journey and continue to let you guys know what I'm up to next and continue to spit out content for you guys. You guys stay safe. Please mask up. And what do we always say? Be bold, be you, and be beautiful. God bless.